I must be very, I just want to be clear in my mind as to
Yeah.
whether the nominee has been sued.
Very well. Fifi, I am very much concerned about your capacity to tell the truth. I'm very much concerned about it. You come across as somebody who is very strong on issues, very strong, sometimes very insulting. And if you look at the editorial of your newspaper, which is just dated 9th March year 2009, that's today's issue. I was a bit scandalized that some serious verbal assault was launched on the former President Gay Kufuor and also Osafo Maafo. This time out, with your indulgence, let me refresh his memory on what has been captured. Very interesting. Osafo Maafo is yesterday's man. Mr. Yao Osafo Maafo was once a Minister of Finance and Economic Planning under the senseless, wasteful former MPC government led by Gay Kufuor, alias 50%. Alias 50%. And then when the editorial goes on to say that it also takes us into the mind of the minority in Parliament and the mischievous spirit operating within them. And it goes on to say that concerning Osafo Maafo, it is either dementia is setting in because of old age, or Osafo Maafo is woefully criticizing the budget to score cheap political points for his party and so on and so forth. Fifi, I think that, seriously speaking, this does not mark you out as a very civil person who should be given such a high office of Deputy Minister of Finance, because you didn't insult another man to make a point. How are you going to fit into this role if this is your frame of mind and disposition? That's my first question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The honourable member clearly.
No. I must be very, I just want to be clear in my mind as to whether the nominee has been sued.
Very well. Fifi, I am very much concerned about your capacity to tell the truth. I'm very much concerned about it. You come across as somebody who is very strong on issues, very strong, sometimes very insulting. And if you look at the editorial of your newspaper, which is just dated 9th March year 2009, that's today's issue. I was a bit scandalized that some serious verbal assault was launched on the former President Gay Kufuor and also Osafo Maafo. This time out, with your indulgence, let me refresh his memory on what has been captured. Very interesting. Osafo Maafo is yesterday's man. Mr. Yao Osafo Maafo was once a Minister of Finance and Economic Planning under the senseless, wasteful former MPC government led by Gay Kufuor, alias 50%. Alias 50%. And then when the editorial goes on to say that it also takes us into the mind of the minority in Parliament and the mischievous spirit operating within them. And it goes on to say that concerning Osafo Maafo, it is either dementia is setting in because of old age, or Osafo Maafo is woefully criticizing the budget to score cheap political points for his party and so on and so forth. Fifi, I think that, seriously speaking, this does not mark you out as a very civil person who should be given such a high office of Deputy Minister of Finance, because you didn't insult another man to make a point. How are you going to fit into this role if this is your frame of mind and disposition? That's my first question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
And the people say, Hallelujah, the Son of God is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Oh, say yeah, Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Yeah, yeah, Hallelujah. And the people say, Hallelujah. The Son of God is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Jesus Christ, the risen Lord, is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Let me take that away again. Jesus Christ, the risen Lord, is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Oh, say yeah, Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Oh, say yeah. And the people say, Hallelujah. The Son of God is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. The Son of God is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Jesus. Oh, say yeah, Hallelujah. Hallelujah, yeah, yeah, Hallelujah. And the people say, Hallelujah. Jesus Christ, the risen Lord, is coming again. And the people say, Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Say Hallelujah. Oh, say yeah, Hallelujah. And the people say, Hallelujah. Glory.
Because you are a former president, will still pay you pensions and give you protection and take care of you as long as you respect those who came after you. You have to ensure that democracy matures in such a manner in Africa, where the previous president does not make it his business to fight the current president. You must allow the new to lead with all their faults because you are the same. It doesn't mean you are perfect. The young ones who are coming after you will challenge the current one. No African leader who is on retirement should lead from the grave. They must all be like all other progressive former presidents who are statesmen at home waiting for courtesy visits and consultation and attending to honor state functions. Those are the duties of former presidents, because Africa must be stable. Africa must go through democracy at all times. And elections in Africa should never mean the blood on the floor. We Africans must hate seeing our own blood.
Hi, good evening and welcome to another edition of Good Evening Ghana. It's always a pleasure to bring you this show, your show, my show, our show, This is the best TV show in the world, including America and including UK and including Holland and South Africa. Tonight we have so much to share with you, don't we? What are we going to start with? There's something very, very, very interesting going on social media. I don't mean what you are thinking. Forget about that. I don't mean that. There's something going on social media. It's political. It's not about that. Okay, so my good friend and other dear colleague, Uncle Brian Acheampong, Member of Parliament and Minister for Food and Agriculture, appears to be getting some people to actually stake his claim to the running mate position. And that's very interesting, viewers. Just follow me for 1 minute. I beg you. So the MPP is about to select his running mate. Alhaji Muhammad Bawumia will be selecting his running mate very, very soon. Who are the people in the running mate situation? And the producer, maybe we should have put the running mate situation pictures there. There is Dr. Osaya Oduchum, Minister for Education. There is the Honorable Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the front runner, Minister for Energy. There is now Madam Irene Natoshi, Common Fund Administrator, former Member of Parliament, lawyer, and a Christian. Natoshi's claim to the running mate is that she's Christian, and not just Christian, but she has a lot of relationship with most of the pastors in town. Okay. There was also Brian Acheampong, who is youthful and popular and is a great mobilizer and is a successful businessman, especially in real estate. Now, the point against Uncle Brian, I don't know whether I should say against, but one of the, I don't even want to use the word demerit, but one of the drawbacks, if you like, social scientists, please give me the words that we have been using in essays when we can't produce much thinking. Social scientists, when we can't produce much thinking, we use words, drawback, development, agenda, and all that kind of thing. One of the drawbacks to Brian's claim is that the way the MPP ticket has been designed, the running mate must go to an Ashanti. Because, and later tonight, we'll be looking at the Global Info Analytics prediction of President John Dramani Mahama leading the charts by 54%. We'll be looking at it in some detail tonight. So this is kind of related, isn't it? And then we'll be talking about Parliament as well. And then we have a letter to the Speaker. Good Evening Ghana has written a letter to the Speaker of Parliament and to the Minister for Interior and to the Attorney General. We will show you what letter we are writing to them. We are writing to Speaker, the Minister for Interior, which is Honorable Henry Quartey, and the learned Attorney General, the Honorable Godfrey Dame. We've written a letter to them. We'll show you the letter even before it goes to them. So we'll show you the draft so that maybe you can make an input. It's a letter that every Ghanaian should be interested in. So if you can make an input, just make an input and tell us, change this word, replace the comma with that. And then we'll send it to them. So we'll show you the letter now. Also, we are not very happy tonight with the Office of the Special Prosecutor, as we are often because he has refused to respond to our right to information request. We are progressing with that, and we are going to ask the Commissioner to surcharge him because he has refused our request. We'll come back with a request and show you our next steps on that matter. Many people see me in the streets and ask me what happened to the request of the Special Prosecutor. We sent a request to him because we are alleging that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has grossly violated the public procurement law. We are heavily alleging that. And so we sent him an RCI request that he should answer how he bought those cars. He has refused to do so because we think that he's guilty as charged. We don't know. That's what we think. So we're going to progress with the matter. We have to sanitize the society. Office holders, appointment holders, ministers, MPs, members of board of directors, everybody must make obeisance to the law, isn't it? So yes, as special prosecutor, we believe that he has violated the procurement law. We'll deal with that. Back to the Brian Acheampong story. So one of the drawbacks on Uncle Brian Acheampong, he's an Odade, so yes, he's my man, is that he's from the eastern region. Now, it is said that the tickets ought to be limited to Ashanti. Well, Irene Natoshi is not claiming a tribal interest. She's claiming a gender position. That's what she's claiming. So while she's gone, her claim to the running mate position, or her supporters who are arguing for her to be the running mate, is not so much about being Gan, being Ewe, being Moshi, Dagomba, being Ekwapim, or being Bono from Nkoranza or wherever. she's claiming that she's a woman and that the time has come for a gender ticket. Of course, we know that John Dramani Mahama has repeated a gender-sensitive ticket. All right. So Brian Achampon's drawback is that he's from Eastern Region. Yeah, so it becomes a problem with the Akan situation. That the exiting president is from Eastern Region, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Do you want to have a vice president, potentially, if the MPP can win? Do you want to have a vice president who is also from Eastern Region? How many times Eastern Region going to have it? So, the story that is going around today, and we have had this discussion in our newsroom all afternoon, we've been arguing with each other, as we always do. And we think Brian Achampong, this story, is about Brian Achampong making his claim to the ticket. He's suggesting that whilst he's an Eastern Region MP, he actually is Ashanti. Join me on the touch screen now. Let me explain to you what is going on. All right. So this is Uncle Brian, Brian Achampong here, Minister for Agriculture. He used to be the Minister of State at Ministry of National Security, and then he left, but he's held his seat together. He's been talking very big about MPP will win the election and they will win the election, so nobody should think about handing over. The things he said has been spanned by the NDC. His supporters believe that it's been misconstrued, but whatever it is, Brian is in the news for making a claim as though the MPP are adamant to hand over power. But anyway, that's part of politics. 7 months to go. It's always going to be like that. Now, this is Brian Achampong. Let's move on. Okay, did I get it wrong? It's not moving. Can you switch it around and let's see the next slide? It's going to turn around very soon. Yeah. So this is Brian Achampong. Okay, this is still Brian Achampong. Let's get to the story. Actually, all right. So this is the story. Please pay attention to the story. Yeah, the story is reported on Adom Online. It says some people are calling on Brian, some traditional people, and that's important in politics, isn't it? Traditional authority, since the days of Kwame Nkrumah, has been very important in our politics. And they are saying that those people, the traditional people, are requesting of Brian Achampong that he should quit politics and take up your throne as chief of Finsu Youth to Brian Achampong. Very, very interesting. Who are Finsu Youth? Who are they? Where are they? Where are they from? Which region are they from? Which village are they from? That's the situation. I'll show you the video in a minute. That's the situation. So it is Offenso Kaira. Offenso Kaira leaders plead with Brian Achampong to assume chieftaincy role. I think there's a story that we can run in Twi, can't we? Please find the montage. Terry, get the montage ready. This is the Brian Achampong story. Something we can do in Twi. It's something we can do because it relates to the Akan sort of thing. So we'll be able to do that in Twi. So yes, quit politics and take up your throne as chief of Offenso. Now viewers, Google it. Which region is Offenso Kaira? Google it. It's in Ashanti region. Offenso Kaira is in Ashanti region. So the youth in Offenso Kaira are asking Brian Achampong to come and be chief of Offenso. Now, if he can be chief of Offenso, why is he not Ashanti? That is the point. This is the point of the story. Do you associate with it? Are you against it? Is the NDC afraid of it? Is the MPP angry with it? Is Brian trying very hard to metamorphose himself from Eastern Region to Ashanti so that he may manipulate the running mate slot? I don't know. But I'd like you to send text to Good Evening Ghana official after we've done the tree and tell me what you think. So this is the story. Now, let's go to the video. Have a look at the video.
Sabi na atena nkunya muti nkunya so sabi ye this year nana ankan wi afi woko nana kakari e wi afi so ko sabi ye pe akunya to a ye pe so bi di maye ye to ye ni a this year okro ba to ye ni a hu say nana ayensu ya hene sabi ne this year wo kwawu enkwatia a ye frɛ no Brian Achampong ye pe say won ne be di sa akunya me twere say ye nim di otimi ye ni ye nim di ye woni mu enti a pe so bi da akunya no maye onya ma ye kwenim di wetima ye wo sa akwa nkwatia hono hotel ni a wo ye the whole Ghana upe hotel kese pa ono West Africa nyina ono na yekota kese a wo ha no se ti ekuro mu adeso ni se wo ba ha kaire kuro mu ase wetima ya maye ahenie na ato no sana na brother champion oba so obeye obedi kuro isu a wetima ma kaire ye de akoso pa kaire kuro mu ase e ma no semba saba homa ye kura da bi oba ye kura de obeye kwa kire se obetimi aye ti esre ne se o media kunya na me se wa wiafe o ma brother champion kwan no media kunya na mpuntu beba ama kure obi anya ye wo se wonya
o ma buai ye so oya e ba bunu o ma bedi hine no ya o ya ye o je ni ye pese ba bunu ba bua mantia no bo bua krono ma itu ba bunu ba ja po no me papa ti ona ile to no ba boy krum ha okodi ko ngwatia no ofiri ayinsia ayo ko no ye edi hye ni popa no ihia oba boa we say oba boa ya amakro no dey anyem putu okuma nti ma se tia no so onu kwa de ihia no kuma so e nyina ye ho she.
You need to try.
So you saw that. Now, a town in Ashanti region is calling for Brian Achampong to be chief of Ofinsu Kayera. Now, how can a man be chief of Ofinsu Kayera if he's not Ashanti? If they come and call me today, they come and be Odikro of Kwamo. We don't have an Omai here, we have an Odikro. They say come and be Odikro of Kwamo. It means I'm from there. It means I'm Ashanti. So, the drawback to Brian is that, so when people say, hey, Charlie, Brian is in the race, so they say, but Brian is from Eastern Region. It doesn't work. Brian has heard that so many times. His supporters have heard that so many times. And now he's taking a claim to this. He's clearly sticking his claim to the point. So if Ofinsu Kayera people say that Brian Achampong can be our chief. Now, if you're a chief in Ashanti, it means you are one of the sub-chiefs of the Asante Hene. If you are not from the 7. If you are not from those who understand. If you are not from the 7, the confederation of the 7, Kukufu, Kumeu, Mampong, Ejusujabin, and all those. If you are not from one of those 7, you are a sub-chief of Asante Hene. Now, Ofinsu Kayera is there. So, Otunfo's Nana, Otunfo Hene. How then do you call Otunfo's Nana and Otunfo's Hene a non-Ashanti? Super story. Let's keep an eye on that. It's a great story, and I think we can move to the tree now. Let's get the montage quickly, get the tree, and then our next story is football, and then we get into the proper political ones. So let's get the montage. Please play the montage.
Now have freedom, Ghana, land of freedom, toils of the brave, and the sweat of their labors, toils of the brave, which have brought results.
Emamajo tiefo na assembly aba politics and ye beka ne sese Brian Achampong ye Brian Achampong chese assembly sie na nya asem ketewa kwa se kunya munim se ora vice president Mahamudu Bawumia sese aye ne dadwen oda onda osoya on sorry ona mountimi nante na adwuma ebebre e de asema esese ofa obi e de ye na bade akiri e de call election ena aye ne dadwen bebre se nipa no doso nipa ne nyina so betimi aye seni ye kan ye wo say aduchum oye minister for education no ho ye wo enu anapo so ye kan so no di anim na po ho ena nanse aso raba Irene Atoshi and they kan raba pa ope raba na Atoshi Irene Atoshi ono so abeka ho na ye kan sense no nyina no MPP amanyo ko mpanyifo kire se senia owura Mahamudu Bawumia aye ye flag bearer no sene beboa ama MPP fo atime wini abeya eye abato a eba December ya ase aye din ama MPP no sene beya MPP betime wini sa abane de ese Mahamudu Bawumia ono oye eye mamprusi no wanya aye flag bearer na ese ono fa obi a oya santini if he say asante memu no omo timi tuma MPP seni a wo hwa anwo memu tuma NDC no sa na asante memu so tuma MPP pa enti abrabo no so aye de se nyina enim 2020-2021 no nyama nkoyie asante for so mo pedwadie nti se nyama nkoyie sa na petrol aye sei na covid ba ye na ye sei war bi esi wo Ukraine asante for no mpesa because person oton na ade ono nka politics nka onfa ho oton na ade na oye otumfo no ya asante kotokwa wawie asante ni bia na brabo no oton na ade onya ne sika oye otumfo sese akwesi dai ba okobi waye okay asante kotokwa winning ball asa asante ni de no the politics nka ode ye de na sa so a asante for no omo mpesa omo beto abache se ne ma ye din nti se wan nya obi se ne MPP panyifo no kan wan nya obi emfi asante man from amu amba wan hwe ya na o man to aba ne se de so mutu da asante so antimi anto aba no amma Dr. Baumia te se bi se 75% a anhwe ya e de asembe ba MPP amanyoko no se de be te se nkunindi franka no na ase eti akọ na eso mutimi nya 75% e wa asante mu correct o mutimi nya no de a ene se baby be huriu baby be sorry o sensuo be mu na o baby o nsuo be to o baby o se ne atie bia ye be kan aba na be wie no se MPP timi nya 75 wa ashanti dia ene na kunimdi franka na aben saa ne asechire enti impanyifo no se nipa e be se etu no franka tu aba die chie no saa nipa no e se ofia santimemu e se ofia santifumamu na eba se de be asantifo mu se ye die nie asantifo so pesa pa omu se ye die nie na mbeto o hwe abato ya 2092 a o hwe be MPP nya vote pa na ye je Kufuor na e da aba no so na Kufuor do so nya bi pa bata anhye dan to je Kufuor de no efi se je Kufuor fi apejafi ofi asantifo ma enti no nipa ye yi omasi wo senka mbeye Frankatu abede chi no ora Brian na ebi bobo ni din na bobo ni din na se Brian de enko wa ho din pa ko betimi dia yesa adwuma we pa o ama Brian so akwakwa no penasem chese bibi woni nsem aye business ache e ba no real estate a odamufo a enti enfama Brian a nkenye bad eno mo se na Brian yi ofi East region asantini wo de komana de sembebre e mo say nyina katwi de Eastern katwi asante katwi Western kra katwi bono katwi bono hafo katwi bono East katwi Kintampo kra katwi na tamale krom katwi wo nti obia katwi nyesa but ye ka asante a na ye otekoko so ne nanano omo no mo ya asante no ye ka asante a ye chese osa ne nti ene yaba ya ye baako enti ora Brian yakeka ka say Brian ni nya asantini Brian nya asantini enne ye sorry ya story kakra kabi na apie mo fanto so me hwe mo nya me enko me hwe story abanya story ketwa story ba ya yesi krobi de offenso kayera ai wa santimemu offenso kayera wa santimemu no offenso kayera for say on de omunya ya enka won de share ban na champion no onyai politics no nanka ombedi ohene ewo offenso kayera na offenso kayera ken ewo asantememu echese Brian asantini obi a otimi di akonya wa asante de no ya asantini trodo otimi di akonya offenso for friend say bedi akonya man na cheso ya asantini enti say sa asem no okay ka say na Brian nya asantini Brian fi Eastern region nanka Brian ya asantini di anka betimi aye no ase sa asem no Brian supporters no omo ta Brian champo achi no omo the story we dane asem no ama na beye hunya wo vice president trim Alhaji Bawo Bobo I bon pie ma Dr. Bawo I bon I dey with them crowd the chama mempe just say adwin die that Dr. Bawo say yasam keto ha o me dem mempe na wo pe wo betimi aye anopa o sorry the phone ring kra na onim se nipa ne bebisa ne se running mate o se just baby obeko bia me dem hunu kra me mbisa no running mate be chia na Alhaji macha o na me come baby uko bisa no running mate a wo ha no ya adwin kes just say den enti se say no o mama Dr. Baumia more problem if you say almost say Brian so ya santini nse say wo bechusu a naponie educhum nie Brian na champion so nie ayedin o ayedin am MPP Frankatu for no Alhaji Baumia ye bom pa emano emano kuse na same way there enti office kaya no omo de omo ya asante fo omo se ban ye de hye obedi hene na obi betimi bedi hene wa asante mu ma na ono na chese ono no oya asante di krase mu amu ye MPs no mu amu ye MPs wa asante mu no ono se ye friend se on bedi akonwa na chese ono na asante no emu odu tomtom wo ho oya tomtom me chiao majo assemble si wa ha tomtom Brian Champon kan bibi o so asante ni ofri mo ho o so ono so fi asante fruma ye hwe video na hwe video
Sabre nam atrankunwa mutin kunwa so sabre ye de hye nana ankan wi afi woko nana kakari ewi afi so ko sabre ye pe akunwa ato a ye pe so bibedi maye ye to ye ni ade hye okro matu ni a hu se nana ayensu ya hene sabre ne de hye a wo kwawu enkwatia a ye frɛ no Brian Champon ye pese won ne bedi sa kunwa ma twere se ye nim de otimi ye ye nim de woni mu enti ye pese obi da kunwa no ma ye onya ma ye kwenim de wetima ye wo sa kwa nkwatia wono hotel ni awo ye the whole Ghana upe hotel kese pa ono West Africa nyina ono na ye hotel kese a wo ha no se ti ye kuro mu ha so ni se wo ba ha kaire kuro mu se wetima ya ma ye ahini na ato no sana na Brian Champon oba so obeye obedi kuro isu a wetima ma kaire ye de akoso pa kaire kuro mu se emema no se basa o ma ye kura da bi oba ye kura de obeye ye kura kire se obetimi aye ti ye se ne se o media kunya na me se wa wiafe o ma Brian Champon kwan no media kunya na mpuntu beba ama kure wo bia nya ye wo se wonya
o ma buai ye so oya ebe bunu o ma bedi hine no ya o mu ya ye o genius ye pese babun babua mantia no babua krono ma itu babua braja po no me papa ti wona ile to no babua ekrum ha okodi kwawu kwatia no ofili ayinsia ayo ko no ye di hye ni popa no ihia oba bua we say oba bua ya amakro no dey ayem putu okuma nti ma se tia no so onu kwa di hia no kuma so e nyina ye ho bose
Ghana, we now have freedom. Ghana, land of freedom. Toils of the brave and the sweat of their labors. Toils of the brave which have brought results.
Hey, okay, my phone, let me grab my phone and then take my seat and see. Our next story is sports though, but we have a lot of politics to deal with tonight. I'm sure my text messages, people are telling me text messages. Oh, viewers, sorry. First message is amusing. Please, are you getting messages yourself? Let's see what you get. What are you getting? Whilst I read mine. Fatih, I think you first. What are we getting?
Okay. So this is coming from Pa Kofi, and Pa Kofi says, Paul, it's clear that the one that can draw most of the Ashanti's votes is Napo, so let's support him. Alhaji Yusuf Hussein says, good evening, Paul. The delay in getting running mate to partner Dr. Bawumia is creating division in the NPP. The party must speed up the process to end all speculations in the party. The one who will be selected as the running mate must be the successor of the president to end this acrimonious way of always choosing a flag bearer, so the attention will shift to who becomes the running mate instead of the flag bearer. Now, Ni Oku also says the running mate of the party should automatically come from the Ashanti region because the parent of this year's election is Northern and Ashanti, the only way NPP can win. And then lastly, coming from Akwesi Echampon, he says, do you know that the Kwawus are largely Ashantis? Also, apart from the people of New Jabin, others in Achim Ebuaka, towns like Masi, Enyinasin, and surrounding areas are Asantis. Don't be surprised Brian Champon can show up as an Ashanti. What do you have?
All right, so this one is from Alex. Alex says, Brian can be Ashanti, but since he is an MP in the Eastern region,
Most of the Ashantis do not recognize him as an Ashanti in politics. His parents may come from the Ashanti region, but so far as he's recognized as an MP in the Eastern region, then he is out as someone from the Ashanti region completely. This comes from Derek. Derek says, watching from Manchester, Paul, I think Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is the best choice to partner Dr. Bawumia. He's earned it. The grassroots people love him. The party people love him, and he's my favorite. This one is also from Alex. He says, the vice president's candidate should come from the Ashanti region since it is the World Bank of the MPP. If Ashanti region is not given the slot, then the MPP would lose the elections because majority of the Ashantis will be angry and will not want to vote. And lastly from Edward, he says, Paul, don't waste so much time with this running mate business. The MPP are even on their way to opposition anyway. Answer it.
Okay. So now Daniel Ahan says, if you ask me, Paul, Dr. Edichum would be a better candidate, but unfortunately, the Asantes like Napo. Emmanuel Martin Oredu Obrempong, all the way from Kweuta, says, Honorable Brian Echampong stands tall. Brian Echampong is the only perfect man we need, and we need him now to partner Dr. Bawumia to break the 8. Annam Zoya says, I really love your social media people. Samuel Welberg says, Brian Echampong is the incoming defense minister. Enoch Asante says, the people are calling on Brian Echampong to be the Nkoswahene. Brian is actually not an Ashanti. Now, Confidence Maiga says, I think female running mates wouldn't be bad at all for the NPP. Now, Nana Ekwama Boatin says, Dr. Brian Echampong is a solid man, but this time we are rooting for Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh to partner Dr. Bawumia to break the 8. And lastly, Ike Man says, oh, interesting. The NPP is actually considering a female to partner DNB coming from an insider. Now back to you.
Okay, Nana Ekwama from Abilikuma Central says, good evening, Paul. Dr. Brian Echampong is a solid man, but this time we are rooting for Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh to partner Dr. Bawumia to break the 8. Kwao says that, Sir Paul, this year's election is about education and economics, so I will opt for Edichum. Okay, now Nana Kofi, I believe, says, it's possible for Brian to be an Asante as an Akan. Being matrilineal, it means that his mother may come from Kaira and his father from the eastern region. You've also got on your tree commentary, Solomon says you are a genius, Nipo. He has renamed you, apparently. And Aliko says Napo is the chosen one. And Solomon Na Azu says it shall be Napo or Natoshi. Paul.
Okay, more text messages coming. Let's continue with the show and keep them coming though, and keep the conversation on social media. We're now getting to our football story, and yes, we'll get here. But what happened tonight? Champions League.
Yes. So Barcelona are out of the Champions League.
I can't believe that.
Yes, they lost 4-1 at home.
Wow.
To PSG. Yes. So they won the first leg 3-2.
Are there no camp?
Yeah.
They were beaten
4-1. Impressive.
Hey. So by Kylian Mbappe.
Kylian Mbappe and also Ousmane Dembele, their former players.
Yeah, I heard that. I didn't see the game. When I came to the studio, they were telling me that Dembele had celebrated and he was bastardized by
So
Barca
that was
fans.
last week. He celebrated when he scored against Barca, and then the Barca fans vowed that they would do him a Figo thing. So remember in 2000 when Florentino Perez, as the Madrid president, was trying to vie for the position, he said he was buying the best player in the world at that moment. That was Figo from Barca.
Luis Figo.
Yes, and then he got Figo from Barca, and then when Figo went to Barca during that season, they threw pig heads, bottles, and everything at him on the pitch. You understand? So they said they would do the same thing to him, and before the match, they brought in pig heads and all of that. So security.
And he scored.
Yes, he scored against them, and he has eliminated them.
So who are in the semi-final?
So Dortmund also won against Atletico Madrid. So the Spanish teams are out. It's only left with only Madrid.
Real.
Madrid is Real Madrid.
They play tomorrow against Man City.
Yeah.
And Arsenal,
against
devastated Arsenal, are going to the
Allianz
Arena to face Bayern Munich. Almost an unsurmountable task. Almost.
A very, very, very difficult task.
But let's talk about what happened on Sunday. Premier League has never been short of stories.
Oh, yes.
Earlier in the day, I was watching Liverpool. A friend of mine was at the Liverpool Stadium, and so we're talking. And he got to the stadium very excited about the atmosphere. It was the anniversary of the Helsby massacre.
Yes.
So everyone was there. John Barnes was there. Ian Rush was there. Kenny Dalglish was there. Big deal. Yeah. And then Liverpool were beaten 1-0. Crystal Palace.
It was a deja vu that happened.
Couldn't believe it. Crystal Palace have beaten them there before.
Oh yes. I think
it's the boogie side, isn't it?
Yeah,
they kind
Crystal
of beat
Palace
them all the time.
is the only team that has beaten Klopp 3 times at Anfield. 2015, 2017, and just that was Saturday.
So when the game ended, everyone knew that Arsenal was in pole position.
Oh yes, the Arsenal fans, there was a video that was popping up on TalkSport before the match. They were so happy. The Arsenal fans were jubilating on their way
to the stadium.
Yes, to the stadium, and then they also bottled it up. Yes. So let's talk about Saka. He has 14 goals, 8 assists this season. Also with Salah, also 17 goals, 8 assists. And also Haaland, he's leading with 20 goals.
How many goals has Ole Watkins?
19.
That's impressive.
Yes. Aston Villa, no
for an
penalties.
Aston Villa player, no penalties included.
Yes, no penalties.
But why do we think that the penalties is a setback or a sort of demerit? If I score 20 penalties and have 20 goals, I'm the leading scorer.
So the reason why people got obsessed with this penalty thing was with Ronaldo. So when Ronaldo was scoring for fun, they were saying, oh, he scored penalty because he will score goals, but the penalties are a lot. So people decided to factor that even if you score penalties now, they don't even see you as much. Like they see.
But it's counted.
People
okay, so Saka's 14 goals, no penalty.
2 penalties.
And
Salah has 5 penalties.
17, 5 penalties. And he has how many penalties of 20? There was one last Sunday.
Yeah, he has 6. He has 6 penalties.
6 penalties.
He's joint top scorer with Cole Palmer, Chelsea's Cole Palmer. He has.
That's totally shocking.
20 goals.
Cole Palmer
9 penalties.
has scored 20 times in this season, playing for
Chelsea.
Not so good Chelsea.
Finished Chelsea. 9 assists. Yes, 9 assists also.
He has 9 assists. Charlie, the guy is good. The guy is good.
Yeah. So I think
20.
20 goals, 9 assists. So,
but he could easily become the season's top scorer.
Yeah. So Robbie Savage, our own Robbie Savage, was talking. He made some very interesting comments. So Robbie Savage on Sunday he said, okay, that's Cole Palmer, 20 goals, Haaland 20 goals, Watkins 19, Isak, and then Salah and Solanke.
Well, I like Isak, the Newcastle boy.
Yes,
good guy.
The Swedish guy.
Good. He's from. He's playing for Switzerland or Sweden.
Sweden.
But he looks like
he's
Somalia.
Yeah, he's South Eritrea.
Sudan, Eritrea, Somalia, and Eritrea.
His father came to the stadium that was on Sunday, and he was in an Eritrean flag.
Yeah. And he scored, didn't he, last Sunday? He scored. They beat Tottenham 4-0.
Yeah. They just finished Tottenham. So Robbie Savage said something. That's our friend Robbie Savage.
What did he say?
So he mentioned his team of the season. So that was David Raya, Arsenal, Kai Walker, Man City, William Saliba, Arsenal, Van Dijk, Liverpool, Udogie, Spurs, Odegaard, Arsenal, Declan Rice, Arsenal, Phil Foden, Man City, Ole Watkins, Villa.
No, I don't like this. Bruno Fernandes. You can't do the team of the season without Bruno Fernandes. No way.
He was being a bit biased.
Kobe Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes must make it in that team.
He said for his Young Player of the Year, he will give it to Kobe Mainoo. And he made a very shocking statement. He says, Cole Palmer has to win the Player of the Year.
Oh, the PFA Player of the Year.
And then
Cole Palmer is how old?
He's just 21.
Oh, the guy is good.
Yes, and he stated a precedent. So remember in 98-99, the season Man United won the treble. This fine Spurs player, David Ginola. That fine.
I remember Ginola. Oh, but he was good.
Yes,
but Ginola is not. Cole Palmer is better than. Well, Cole Palmer is young, 20. Yeah. But Ginola was a great player.
So Robbie Savage made a comment that so in 99 United won everything, but they gave the PFA Player of the Year to David Ginola, who was playing for Spurs, and Spurs were even fifth. So. Notwithstanding Chelsea,
I cannot get what he's saying. You are in a not so good team, and you are showing great class.
Yes.
That's what he's talking about. So you may be in Man City, but it's a team effort. So if you look at the Manchester United, I think he's right. If you look at Manchester United 1999, it was a team effort.
Yeah.
David Beckham on the right, you have Andy Cole, Dwight York, Paul Scholes was in there, Ryan Giggs.
Everyone.
Fantastic team Alex Ferguson built. Yeah. It wasn't really built around anyone.
Yes.
It was a teamwork.
David Ginola that season had 10 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League alone, and also won Spurs the League Cup. They defeated Man United. Man United was on a string of winning 4 titles. So it was David Ginola that won the League Cup. That's the Carabao Cup we call today. So he also won the Football Writers Association Player of the Year. So,
but you see, I watch Cole Palmer. It appears to me that he is instinctively good.
Very good.
But he doesn't control the game.
That's the problem.
He doesn't
That's
control. He's instinctively good, but maybe because he's young.
Yeah.
When the ball, but Jude Bellingham is 20. Jude Bellingham controls the game.
Yes.
Even Kobe Mainoo controls the game.
The thing with the Chelsea fans will come and say is he was on the bench most of the times at Man City, so he wasn't getting the match playing time. Jude Bellingham has been playing.
But he's been with Chelsea You see, when he's on the ball, he's about himself and the next Chelsea player. And he can do a one-on-one and then he can score. But in terms of controlling the game, no, Palmer is not able to do that.
I always choose Phil Foden over him. Phil Foden.
Foden is plays further ahead, isn't he?
Yes.
Foden is an arrowhead of sorts. So that's kind of a different player. Cole Palmer is a second striker kind of thing. Yeah, so he should be able to control the game. If he were able to make himself into a Frank Lampard with the instinctive thinking that he has, he's going places. But it's not late. He's a very, very good player. And I was excited to see him. How many did he score yesterday?
That was 4 goals.
He scored 4 times.
Yeah. So
against Everton. That's
against
not too
bad.
bad.
He scored a hat-trick. So back-to-back home hat-tricks. That's serious.
Okay.
So let's talk about the runnings.
Before then, what do you think happened to Arsenal on Sunday?
Okay, so Arsenal inexperience from Arteta. His starting lineup.
Everyone is blaming Arteta.
Yes, he was thinking of Bayern Munich.
But we told them Arteta is not good 100 years ago.
They feel he is one of their own, so they will support him. We can't do anything.
But I looked at the game. I don't blame Arteta. I think it was a bit of hard luck and a bit of poor marking at the back. Yes. Because you see, Arsenal didn't give Ole Watkins the respect he deserved. He struck the post the first half. They didn't. They pretended.
Tielemans also struck the post.
They pretended they hadn't seen it, and then he punished them. Ole Watkins is a good player. Now in Arsenal, nobody has scored 19 goals this season. No Arsenal player has scored even 15
Saka
goals.
is the highest top scorer, 14.
Yes, Saka is the highest top 14, and this guy has scored 18 goals at the time he showed up at the Emirates, and you disrespect him. I mean, I think they didn't take Aston Villa as serious. Given that Aston Villa had beaten them in the first game, they should have approached the game with a bit more seriousness.
Let's look at the runnings. There's 6 games left. So
okay, but what happened to Liverpool as well? What do you think?
Liverpool
is their boogie side. They couldn't do much.
I feel after Klopp made a very startling comment after the match that the the 2 United games, the FA Cup 4-3 loss, and also the 2-2 match,
took a lot.
Derailed them.
That took a lot.
Yes,
It's true.
So
it's true.
Atlanta scored
the FA Cup went all the way to almost extra time.
120 minutes.
Yeah, and then the League One was tough.
Yeah. So Atlanta even scored them 3-0.
Atalanta came to deal with them 3-0.
So we're very,
but Liverpool, from what Savage says, still have a chance of winning the title.
Yes.
Because they don't have big games.
Liverpool don't have big games. So let's look at Liverpool's games.
Okay.
So Fulham away.
Fulham away is tricky.
Yes. Everton, they are going to
Everton away is dangerous.
But
Everton have been beaten 6 by Chelsea. So.
But it's a rivalry. They will show up. They will turn up. At Goodison Park, they will turn up.
The 2 next away games for Liverpool are different.
And even West Ham away.
Oh, no.
They have 3 straight away matches.
No.
And they will play Spurs, Aston Villa.
Spurs away you can discount. They were beating 4-0.
Yes, and Aston Villa away.
Oh!
So it makes it very difficult for
They are going away to Villa Park.
Yeah. And then they finish with the Wolves at home. And let's look at our friends.
The Liverpool has the most difficult.
Let's look at
because Fulham away is not simple.
Fulham is very difficult.
Everton away is Olike has. It's a derby. West Ham away has Mohamed Kudus.
Yeah, very tricky.
And Kudus wants to go play for Liverpool. So this is his time to show Liverpool that you need me. So he's going to turn up. Spurs, I can't bet on Spurs.
Villa away is a tricky.
Villa away is dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. Even though Man United beat them 2-0, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's look at Arsenal. Arsenal, Wolves away. Okay, they can deal with that.
They will deal with that.
Chelsea.
Oh, but Arsenal should be able to.
Discount Chelsea.
Arsenal should be.
But
well, if Arsenal disrespect them, Chelsea will take them a lesson.
Spurs away is always a cracker. It's a derby also.
That's a big
one. They can deal with Bournemouth. This is the match that will end.
We'll beat them.
This is the match that will end.
At the Old Trafford. This is 12th May. I'm aiming to go and see it. We'll beat them.
Wow.
We'll beat them.
This is the match that will end Arsenal.
That one will beat them because United are going to turn up. That one. And by that time, the left back, what's his name? Luke Shaw is back.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw may be back. Martinez may be back.
All of them will be back.
We'll finish them off. That one is not a problem. So
it's now.
But the problem for Arsenal here is that even a draw is no good.
If they draw one of the matches, that's it.
Yeah, even a draw is not good.
Because City will just win all these matches. Except the Spurs one. They have never won.
Who is going to Spurs first between Arsenal and... Arsenal go first.
Then the next week... The funny thing is, Arsenal go first, the next week Liverpool go, and the next week Man City go. They have done it systematically.
Then it means that Arsenal is in more trouble because Arsenal are then going to be the team that should weaken Spurs for Liverpool. But Spurs are not going to survive Arsenal, Liverpool, and City. So City will beat them. By the time they come to City, they've played Arsenal, they've played Liverpool, and then City are coming. That's going to be tight.
But City has never won at the new Tottenham Stadium since it was constructed.
But how many times has they played there? 2019.
It's 5 times.
They've never won.
Never won there.
Whoa.
Not even a draw.
They've been beaten.
All the times in the Premier League. All the times.
Hey.
So you can see the Premier League. Why is
then it's not over. It's not over. The Premier League is not over.
That's why it's the best league in the world because they systematically put these games there. But the thing with City is...
Okay, but Brighton away, I think they'll do it. Tariq Lamptey is there. I hope it. For Nottingham Forest away, they'll do it. Wolves are home, they'll do it. Fulham away is tricky. Fulham shows up here as well.
Yes.
Oh, I see. Yes. Fulham away is 50-50 by the Spurs one. But by the time they get to Spurs, if Arsenal have been beaten and Liverpool have been beaten, they're good.
Yeah. So a little deja vu here for Liverpool was, you see, in 2014, that was Suarez, yeah. They lost against, they drew against the same Crystal Palace 3-3, and then their title charge was finished. And the same.
The one Man United won?
No. Man City won. 2014. Man City won it. Yes.
Okay.
Gerrard slip.
Oh, the Gerrard slip. Yeah.
Okay. So that was the Gerrard slip, and the same thing also has happened. Crystal Palace. So yeah. And then also let's finish with the Kotoko. There was this news that came, and there was a picture that came. Their fans had gone to the pitch,
training pitch at Akodachi to stop Ogun from conducting the training session.
Yeah,
what's wrong with Asante Kotoko these days?
So Opemsuo has summoned the team.
When? Tomorrow?
Yeah, that's Thursday. The technical team to come and then explain to them. So they have played 8 matches since the start of the year. Only 1 win, 3 draws, 3 losses. That's not Asante Kotoko's.
But they've not played Hearts of Oak yet.
No. That'll be the last but one match of the season.
Wow. So, and the season is in the second round?
Yeah. Ooh. Before the start of the second round, they were second
on the table.
Yeah, and they are now 9th.
Somebody's paying losing bonus. Tell me, what is it gossip about Kesbin FM journalist and Asante Kotoko management, and what's it going
on? So this was the pig head. So forget about that.
Okay.
So with this was the Kotoko fans coming onto the pitch. They
just stopped the training session. Yeah. That they don't want the team to train.
Yeah, unprecedented.
Why are Kesbin FM journalists in this matter?
I had not even delved more into that, but Kesbin always delves into the issue.
Is it a relationship with Kobnakesi's relationship with Asante Kotoko? Former relationship of Kobnakesi,
yes,
the owner of Kesbin, and Asante Kotoko.
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
That's a problem.
Does he want to come back as CEO?
It looks like. So Nana Aponsa, I heard Nana Aponsa is pushing people to let the new board out. And also, Kesbin also has interest in it. So it's about who has interest.
But is Kesbin and Nana Aponsa on the same side?
No, please. They're all pushing for the same thing.
So Nana Aponsa wants a return? I don't mind that. He's a good guy.
Very good guy. During this time, they won the league.
He's a good guy. Nana Aponsa is a good guy. I think the best managers leadership Kotoko has had over the last 20 years, KK Sapon, Nana Aponsa, and Herbert Mensah. Yeah. I think so. So if Nana Aponsa wants to come back, why not? He's so young.
Yeah, very, very young.
Yeah.
And this was Arsenal fans. They were going on very early when
the game ended. Oh, yeah. They deserted the stadium. They were attacking Arsene Wenger.
Yeah. It was very sad. And also, so one thing.
Oh, did I say Arsene Wenger? Mikel Arteta. And then also Gary Neville, he said, if you said that Liverpool will be 2 points off Man City with 5 or 6 games left, there will be no chance. This is a monumental achievement. And I think Jurgen Klopp, he was just backing Jurgen Klopp. And I also back him. Because to win the title?
No. Like, for Liverpool to be behind City just 2 points at the start of the season. They don't have any DM. They have no DM.
Yes. It's a credit to Klopp.
They have no
I've
DM.
always been telling Liverpool, he's the best coach in the season. Yes. Liverpool has been on one leg. And on one leg, they have been on top of the table before. Yeah. And with all of City's resources, they are only 2 points ahead of Liverpool. And City was unable to beat Liverpool in the last. And Klopp has been using schoolboys. He won't use schoolboys to win the Carabao Cup. Yeah. I think he's an excellent coach. He should go down in history as one of the best Premier League coaches. Using few resources to achieve significant results. That's Jurgen Klopp. I think he's done an excellent job.
So, and there's the pig head. So that was the pig heads. They brought the pigs around for him. And then he scored against them. So quite ironic that he scored against them. So
wow, I see. So what's your gut feeling? Who's going to win the Premier League?
Man City.
Why?
Because they have done it. So those days, those two, that was 2018 and 2019. They were running together with Liverpool. 1 point difference till the end of the season. They won it. They can win 15 games in a row. They can win 20 games in a row. Since December 21st, they have won 27 matches in a row. Drawn only 2.
So
they have not lost since that time.
Pep Guardiola has put in place a machine that seems to be working.
Yes.
Until next season, when Zinedine Zidane comes to Man United.
Hopefully.
I'll leave it here. Let's see whether I have some text messages, and then we'll do that on sports. Take a break, and then we get into the full political stories. This is Good Evening Ghana. It's live, and I was unhappy on Sunday because You know, in my house, there's Arsenal, there's Man United, and there's Chelsea. And the Arsenal one, I mean, the youngest child is Arsenal. I was very sad for the Arsenal situation. Okay, let's see what people are saying about it. After that, we'll be moving straight into politics, so please get ready. Fatih will take the first text message, will she? Antoinette, rather. Okay, Antoinette, what are people saying about football?
Yeah, so on the sports story, Anamzuya says our sport guy is very good. Nat Calculus says same, that the guy is good. Mbappe's look-alike. Now Shadrach says, my Chelsea, my Palmer, my next season. Samuel Welbeck says it's a done deal for Man City. Don't underrate Man City against Tottenham. Shadrach Mbappe says he prays that Man City loses more matches so they do not win the game. Now back to the running mate story. Richard Ajimandua Frimpong says, prepare for a heavy defeat if you choose anyone except Napo. You have used years to decide on choosing an Asante as running mate. Do not use 1 week to cancel that thought. Alex Barton says, why do we have to spend our precious time to talk about sports to the detriment of our own? Samuel Welbeck says Bruno Fernandes cannot be in the same selection as discussed earlier. Nana Osei Sapon says Ahunipa Nkasa, Dr. Osei Yao Edutrim, a humble transformational leader, is the best fit for the running mate. And lastly, Ata Edusei Ernest says, where does the mother and the father come from talking about Honorable Brian Acheampong? There are some chieftaincy institutions such as in Nkoso Hene, which do not require that you be an Asante.
All right. So this is from Alaji. He says, in fact, MPP should not be contemplating on Napo because he really is a grassroots man, very sharp and understands contemporary politics, successful MP and minister, and a professional medical doctor who can advise on health sector as well as any critical aspects of development. What will be the problem if his name is? What will be the problem if he's named as the running mate? The man cannot wait to hit the ground running. This one comes from Kwabna. He says, watching you live from Ashaman Official, my regards to the incoming MP for Ashaman constituency and incoming VIP Napo. This one is from Bob. He says, Paul, I think the running mate saga is already settled. Napo is the man and no one else. Lastly, from Master Planner, he says, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh has really played his cards well. This is his time. Napo everywhere. Answer.
See, all right. So coming from Edward Dugbaza, it says Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak have forgotten how their predecessors survived as the top clubs in Ghana. The strategy was to coach all the best players in the country from other clubs. Kwame Nkrumah did it for the Real Republicans. Man United did it for England, and Bayern Munich did it in Germany. Now Shadrach says, I pray City loses more matches. Shadrach comes again and says, Arsenal is winning tomorrow and could win the Champions League. And Emmanuel says, Paul, you are very good at sports. Now back to the story we did earlier. Kennedy Owen says Dr. Yao Osei Edutrim is the best choice to partner Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to break the 8 for us. Please don't forget this year's election will be based on education and economic. And lastly, coming from Alhaji Bob Sidi says Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia should choose Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh because he's the best pair to move Ghana forward, inshallah. Angelo.
We have Inshireba Anelko saying, miracle will happen tomorrow, Hala Madrid. Indeed, Hala Madrid. Back to the earlier story. We have Mrs. Benso from Dugbawe. She's watching us and she's asking you, Paul, where is the Ghana narration you promised? It looks like they want to hear the story in Ghana also. Now, Ben Christoph.
I'll do it. If they insist. So, viewers, if you insist on the Ghana story, I'll do it. Don't worry. I can do it. Why are we going? Or you insist by sending text that you insist. If we get, how many people did God ask Abraham that if he found righteous, he will heal the land? Okay, let me see whether my social media editors know the Bible. Antoinette, how many people did God ask Abraham that if you can show me this number of righteous people, I'll heal the land? You don't know. Okay, yeah, like you know, you don't know. Okay, Fatih, is it in the Quran as well? It's a story about Abraham. It should be in the Quran.
Is it
Yeah.
So how many people did God say that? Mikael, don't Google it. Don't Google it. How many people did God say that if you see my social media people? They don't know. So okay, God said if he can find 10 men righteous, he'll heal the land. So if 10 people insist on the gun, I'll do it. I didn't do gun because it's a classic account story of sorts. So that's why. But no problem, we'll do it. 10 people insist. Are you done, Mikael? All right.
So on this issue of the account thing, Ben Christo watching us from Katanga says, Paul, every Ghanaian can confidently trace their bloodline to Ashanti. Every Ghanaian can confidently trace their bloodline to Ashanti. This from Ben Christo. He continues, even some of us from Jamestown are from Ashanti. We must understand that intermarriage in Ghana binds us together, and to me, Ghanaians are one blood, and you can call it Ashantis because they're the majority tribe with their language tree as the language of business in the country. Paul, to you.
All right. So we're going to hit the politics very soon, viewers. So permit me to take a short break, and then we will chill out and we have several political stories to show you. Our letters to the Speaker is coming up. Our RCI request to the Honorable Special Prosecutor. Now, in our letters to the Speaker, we will also show you something relating to the matter between the Speaker and the President and the vetting of ministers. We were doing some research here last week, and we found something in the second schedule of the 1992 Constitution. We'll show it to you at that time when we get there. So take a break, take a coffee, and take cocoa drink, or take Milo, or take Chibom. Do you know Chibom? Those of you who are young, you don't know. Chibom is a bit too late. It's not healthy. Please don't take Chibom. Eat carrots. And wait for us to come back on Good Evening Ghana. This is your show. It's live on Metro TV every Tuesday and Thursday. My name is Adom. I usually produce it, and sometimes I present it. I'll be back. Welcome back to the show, and it's time now for us to hit the screen and Charlie, things are happening. Things are happening. Things are going on. You know, those days when we're in secondary school, when you see your friends, say, "What go on, man?" We borrowed it from Jamaica. The other day, Barack Obama went to Jamaica when he was president of America, and he was going to address some Jamaican students. Obama is a showstopper, you know. So he got onto he mounted the days. And he was looking around, and everybody was cheering, and everybody was... You should find the video. You will see it. Everyone was cheering. The students were cheering. They were screaming. He paused for effect. He gave them about 2.5 minutes to cheer. Then he burst out. He said, "Jamaica, what go on?" Oh, the room erupted like that. Barack Obama is a real showstopper. So I'm asking you viewers, what go on over here? Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, good evening. John Dramani Muhammad, good evening. Alhaji Shawasi, good evening. Nana Kwame Bediako. Okay, I won't say anything. Good evening. Now, Global Info Analytics, led by Musa Dankwa, says that this whole hula baloo about the closeness of election 2024, how tight it will be, is all hogwash. Forget about it. John Mahama has 54% of the votes. He's finished. Muhammadu Bawumia, the much touted vice presidential candidate, the much touted best vice president in the history of the Fourth Republic, the much touted leader of the NPP who has broken the Akan leadership jinx of the NPP. Muhammadu Bawumia, is on 32%. That even in Ashanti, John Mahama is ahead. Musa Dankwa said that. Musa Dankwa, he says that John Mahama is 54%. And Muhammadu Bawumia is 32. He says Alanche Martin is 7. And Akwame Bediako follows. Let's get into what he's saying. Then we understand a few things. Okay. Oh, no, not this one for sure. Please, the original story, the today story. Oh, yes, thank you. All right. So, Info Analytics poll. John Dramani Mahama is leading with 54.3%. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia is second, in a distant second, almost 20 percentage points behind John Mahama at 34.9%. Alan Kojo Chematin is also on 7.5%. In fact, even if you add Alan Chematin's 7.5% to Dr. Bawumia's 34, they still pale shadow. They still come in a pale shadow against John Dramani Mahama. Nana Kwame Bediako is on 2.3%, and others are on 1%. This is Global Info Analytics' latest research on election 2024, and we're going to deal with it right now. Okay. How did they get to this conclusion? Let's see their analysis. Let's see the analysis. Should I just shift it? Oh no, he'll do it. Can you turn it over? Great. All right. So this is the graph out of which they get the. So Dr. Bawumia versus Mahama net changes 2020 election to April 2024. They put all this together. They do some work. They've done some work. Let's see the next slide again. So this is the other slide. Akan dominated regions. Bawumia is, so this is national. John Mahama is 54, Bawumia is 34. Akan dominated regions, John Mahama is 41, Bawumia is 44. Swing regions, referring to maybe central region, perhaps western region, probably Greater Accra region. John Dramani Mahama is on 65%, and Mahamudu Bawumia is on 28%. Northern region. Musa Dankwa, good evening. We are talking about you here. Northern Musa Dankwa, Anthony Abe-Fakabu says, I should tell you that he has told me. No, let me say it well. The guy is called Musa Dankwa. Anthony Abe-Fakabu is a former member of parliament, and he's also the former deputy minister for roads and highways. I had a conversation with Anthony Abe-Fakabu. He says that whenever I do the global analysis, I should tell Musa Dankwa that Kabo has told me the story about the work. So, Dr. Musa Dankwa, Kabo says, I should let you know that he has told me how you do the work. So I know it, but I don't know whether what Kabo told me is true but he told me something which I will not share with viewers, not for today. Okay. So, swing regions, he says, John Mahama has 65% and Mahamudu Bawumia has 28%. Northern region, he says, John Mahama has 66% and Mahamudu Bawumia has 27%. Now, it is difficult to look at this and not be concerned, because if you look at the trend of election 20 from 2008 to 2020, Mahamudu Bawumia's influence has consistently reduced the NDC votes in the northern region, the three northern regions, and especially the northern region, to the point where today the New Patriotic Party is leading the NDC in the parliamentary seat count in the northern region. That has been the trend. Musa Dankwa wants us to believe that trend is going to be heavily reversed. And it's going to be horrendous for the MPP, because there's going to be such a reversal of the gains that they have been making in the north that is not going to work, because the northerners are going to turn away from Dr. Bawumia and they will heavily vote for John Dramani Mahama. That's what Musa Dankwa is saying. Sometimes it pains me that when we did political research in Legon, and may he rest in peace, Dr. Hiawodo was our lecturer for political research, and we did it. When we did political research in Legon, we didn't put it into action and go and do some of these things, because when you see some of these things, when you see these things, this is what they taught us in political research. You just have to look at the history and then demonstrate why there is such a massive change in the fortunes of a particular party that has been on the rise in 2008, 2012, 2016, and 2020, to the point where the MPP has overtaken the NDC in the northern region. Musa Dankwa comes to say that after 3 election cycles of MPP gaining, they are now going to be heavily reversed in these numbers of 66 for John Mahama, 27 for Bawumia. I'm not saying it's not mathematically possible or it's not sociologically possible. There has to be an explanation for this. And the fact that the MPP had been growing in the north should form part of the analysis. Tell Musa Dankwa that we all studied political science and political research. I know how to do this. And Hiawodo taught me how to do it. And this is not how it is done. I just don't practice it. I do this, my 2x4, good evening, Ghana. It's okay, I like it. And I do Asante Kotoko small, I do Manchester United, I'm happy with it. And then I do my church, and then I speak in tongues. It's okay, I like that. But this is something I can do, because I've been trained to do it. So when I see these things, where is the explanation for this? Where are the details? He must show us that in spite of the MPP's gain over the last few years in the northern region, ultimately because of the influence of Mahamudu Bawumia, that influence is shattered now. Mahamudu Bawumia's influence in growing the MPP in the north was occasioned when he was the running mate. He was never the number one. And then, whilst the northerners have listened to his message, and the NDC has lost significant ground in the north, to the point where in parliamentary count, from a wide distance in 2008, in 2020, the NPP has now overtaken them, and Dr. Bawumia writes on that in his party to become the leader of the party. Now that he's leader of the party, his party is going to lose heavily in the northern region, that John Mahama is going to get 66%. Musa Dankwa, where are you? Come and tell us. Musa Dankwa. Come in. Abe Fakabu says I should tell you that he's told me how your work is done. So, Musa Dankwa, this one, you have to explain to those of us who study political science and study political research how this happens. I'm not done. In the Volta region and OT regions, Musa Dankwa gives John Dramani Mahama 67% and Dr. Bawumia 19%. I'm not sure why he says that. But anyway, ultimately though, he says John Mahama will get 54% of the election. So all the talk that we are talking about, perhaps we should forget. Maybe this is a candidate for 3 years, and I'll try and do it in 2 again. Let's see what the next slide is as we get on. And is that all? Are they suggesting that that's all? Okay, so this is it. This is the final one. Now, when you want to talk about a statistical researcher as well, whether you want to give him credit or you want to discredit him, what you do is that you go and check his history. So if it is Economist Intelligence Unit says John Mahama is in the lead in the election, we go to Economist Intelligence Unit 2020, Economist Intelligence Unit 2016, Economist Intelligence Unit 2012, and then we will see a trend that, Economist Intelligence Unit's predictions, they miss by only 2 or 3. Even me, I have been predicting elections in my own small corner using the same analysis, and I've gotten some right, I've gotten some wrong. But the way in which you get it wrong is the issue. The way in which you get it wrong. So who is Musa Dankwa? This is Musa Dankwa. Musa Dankwa told us after Alan Kyerematen had exited the NPP race, Musa Dankwa told us that the NPP race is going into a runoff. He said 54% of voters prefer Alan Kyerematen to lead NPP in 2024. He said that. But he also told us that the NPP race without Alan Kyerematen, including Kennedy Agyapong and the rest, is going into a runoff. Musa Dankwa, go to the next page. Why am I not able to swing today? Sorry, viewers, today the thing is not working. No, let's get that. No, bring it. Yes. Global Info Analytics predicts runoff in NPP presidential election. Now, when you predict a runoff in an... yes, that's the story. That's the story. I'll come back to it. Global Info Analytics predicts runoff in NPP presidential election. When you are an analyst, a researcher, and you're doing political research, and you predict a runoff in the election, runoff may not occur. Everybody understands that. But what happens should be close enough to a runoff for you, the researcher, to be called credible. If the outcome is so away from your prediction, then you are either lazy or you are incompetent at your work. Because if you tell us from research that you have done that the NPP event between Kennedy Agyapong, Owusu Efiri-Akoto, Adai Nimo, and Dr. Bawumia is going into a runoff. Musa Dankwa, he said this is going into a runoff. We were all in this country. How was that going into a runoff? How? How is it going? I mean, every child knew that Dr. Bawumia was going to win. People just didn't know by what margin. But everybody knew that there was no chance in hell for any runoff between Mahamudu Bawumia and Kennedy Agyapong. Bawumia was going to win. And that is what chased Alan Kyerematen out of the race. Because Alan Kyerematen is an experienced politician. He looked at the situation. He knew that embarrassment was awaiting him because Mahamudu Bawumia was going to be elected by the people. Everyone knew that. Only Musa Dankwa didn't know. He who researched it, those who knew it, they just imagined it. We all imagined that Dr. Bawumia was going to win. We didn't do any research. Musa Dankwa did research and came to tell us that there will be a runoff. Runoff how? That neither Dr. Bawumia or Kennedy Agyapong was going to make 50%. Okay, let's get to the story. Let's get to the stories here. It says an outright winner needs to garner more than 50% of the votes. The survey, this Musa Dankwa survey, conducted with 4,311 MPP delegates from all 275 constituencies between October 2nd and 11th, shows Dr. Bawumia leading with 43.5% support. In a surprising twist, Musa Dankwa says, the outspoken MP has managed to rally substantial support, securing 23.5% of the delegates backing in the last few months. While Dr. Bawumia remains the candidate to beat, the rising popularity of Kennedy suggests that the race may be more closely contested than initially anticipated. The survey also revealed that 18.3% of delegates remain undecided. And that's also very important in what Ahia Odo taught us. May he rest in peace. From what we learned in N2, a political science, if you have a research that is showing 18% undecided, you are not yet ready to publish your work. We were taught that. I mean, I don't know where Musa Dankwa, I don't know whether he was there, I don't know him, but maybe he was there. But generations of people have been taught political research at political science by Kofi Dra, by Ahia Odo, by Professor Achuai. They all taught us. Kofi Dra, Ahia Odo, Prof. Achuai, they taught us. Xerox, please tell Musa Dankwa that we learned this thing in school. Tell him. Where is Joe Wassa? I won't mention Joe Wassa's name because he's a top foreign service official. Joe Wassa, tell Musa Dankwa that we have been taught this. Musa Dankwa, we've been taught political research, so don't do those things. We know it. Tell Musa Dankwa that we were told that if you have anything more than 10% that you cannot put anywhere, your research is not ready to be published. You can keep it internally and keep working on it. But if you have anything that is more, Economist Intelligence Unit don't come and tell us that they have 10% undecided. You have to have below 10% undecided so that you can factor it in one way or the other and make a bigger and what we call a macro conclusion. In your executive summary, you put it there. Get me back the work. This is Musa Dankwa. So Musa Dankwa came to lie to us that there will be a runoff. Musa Dankwa, he came to lie to us that there will be a runoff. If you look at his research findings, you can see 18% undecided. What kind of research says 18.3 are undecided, and I'll publish it and give it a headline that the event is likely to go into a runoff? Musa Dankwa. In the end, Mahamudu Bawumia got over 60%. 6-0. Kennedy got the rest. Also, Ifeanyi Akoto got something. But in the end, that's what happened. So, I don't know. You see, in any society, BBC will never use this survey. They will never use it. Because they will know that, they will ask that who did the survey, what is his background, what's his history, where is the document, let's read it. And they will say that, but this is a guy who came to say that there will be a runoff. What is he talking about? Musa Dankwa says that John Mahama is leading by, in fact, in one of the micro reports, Musa Dankwa says that John Mahama is actually leading in Ashanti region over Dr. Bawumia. He says that. Musa Dankwa says that. So we know we are in an election year. But let's get serious, okay? I mean, if you're doing media, serious media, I mean, media can be funny media and other media. We all do funny things. But we don't have to foster on the young people this kind of crass research. I'm not saying, it's not about MPP or NDC, but it pains me that I did not apply my political science to do research. Because this will not happen. Steve Odo will cancel the work. What is this? Professor Dra, he will cancel the work. What kind of work is this? You come and tell us that you don't explain why Northern region has suddenly shifted. Northern region has been following the trend. It shifts. You don't tell us anything and just come and put a boom. John Mahama to get 66%. You are the same person who told us that the MPP race was going into a runoff. Mahamudu Bawumia smashed it away with a 60%. He smashed it away. And then you come and tell us, I'm not saying you should say Mahamudu Bawumia will win, but give us something that has intellectual quality. Because we've all learned this thing. And we don't want people to say that we go to school for nothing. We don't want that. It's painful. When you go to school and struggle throughout the 3 years at Legon, writing exams, writing IA, and people who have learned, and you want to be proud of something. So when you struggle like that, and you see Professor Bob Hinson on social media doing marketing, you are proud of him. Because he was in the school. You saw Bob Hinson at Legon. You saw Bob Hinson at School of Admin, working around his marketing. Today he's a great marketer, globally recognized. And you take pride in that because you feel part of the story. So when you study political research and somebody does this kind of things and says he's called Musa Dankwa and he's doing political research, as if we don't know what political research is, and the media houses, I don't even know whether they have political scientists there. What kind of research is this? What is this? Musa Dankwa, what is this? You can say NDC will win, nobody cares. You can say MPP will win, nobody cares. But don't disgrace political research. Musa Dankwa, you are disgracing political research. What is this? Where is this coming from? What is this? Musa Dankwa, you are disgracing political research. We don't like that. If you didn't study political science and if you're going to learn it from some cocoa place, don't come and embarrass us. Steve Ayan Odo is an NDC man, but he will be embarrassed by this. What kind of research is this? What is this? Musa Dankwa, what is this? Oh, please. You see, when they do that, the people are not taking us seriously. You have to say, when they see you, so when I study in Lagos on political science, they say, oh, political science research by heart research. They don't respect you. Because of Musa Dankwa. Please, don't tell anybody you're studying political science and doing political research. Wait small after the election. Wait small. Don't say it now. Because Musa Dankwa has embarrassed the training. Musa Dankwa, he has disgraced the training. These are the things he does. Look at him. He came to say that the MPP thing is going to run off. 0. Nothing happened. All right. My producer is signaling me that time is up. It's 15 minutes on top of the hour 11. We have another very important story. People have brought legal action against the president on the appointment of police chiefs and all that. We're going to deal with that. And so let's go to the montage. Show Sholoza. It is a montage that is... No, let's go show Sholoza, please. It's a montage that is... I'll come to this photograph. It's a montage that's connected to the story we just did. Show Sholoza, have it. I hope you haven't forgotten that we need show Sholoza. Let's take a few text messages on this one. I have an important one I'll be reading. But shall I start with Fatih? Oh, yes, okay. Fatih, what's the first message?
All right. So Kwesi Barcelona says, as for Musa Dankwa, he thinks he's the only person who has studied statistics and political sampling techniques and survey. Sampling techniques and survey, such a bogus survey. His intention is to good, nothing more, nothing less. Now, this is also coming from F1, and he says Musa Dankwa is just telling NDC what they want to hear. Coming from Alex Tufo, it says Musa Dankwa and his political research is just like a JSS research. And lastly, coming from Duru Joseph, he says there is no way NDC can win this election. What do you have for us?
All right, so Karim jokingly says this is probably a rented political research. Edward says, Paul, if you don't agree with Musa, you can ask your friend Ben to do the post for you. By the way, Musa Dankwa predicted Bawumia would win the primaries by 59% and he got 62%. And Sami says, the only touchscreen journalist in Ghana and beyond, Paul Adomatre. Okay.
Joseph Opon says, Paul, even if Ghanaians will not vote for Dr. Bawumia, I don't think Mr. Mahama is the best alternative for Ghanaians, and this has nothing to do with politics. What is so special about Mr. Mahama, and what is his track record as vice president and later as president that will make Ghanaians miss him and vote massively for him? In the USA, Donald Trump is being asked to come back by the people themselves. Now, Charles Osei says Musa Dankwa is believed to have strong ties to the NDC. The poll was conducted at the NDC headquarters. General L. Kuman says great deception is to think that the NDC are leading in any opinion polls. Have we forgotten what a comfortable lead is? Anam Zuya says, Musa Dankwa keeps deceiving the NDC. They will never win again, inshallah. Simon Frimpon says, this is opinion poll for a period. It's not definite that this is going to be the real deal in terms of numbers. Now, Nanaba Skopi says he didn't say anywhere actually that Mahama is leading. And then lastly, Ernest Mainu says, Paul, you seem enthused so much about the number of parliamentary seats for the NPP, but the real number of votes is the presidential vote. Paul, out of the 14 seats, the NPP won 7 constituencies, voted for the NDC. So can you tell us now the number of votes that the NDC had and that of the NPP? Over to you, Angelo.
Obama watching us from Kwehu Tafu says, okay. He says that the NDC can still be deceived by Musa Dankwa's Global Info Analytics fake polls. He's notoriously known for fake opinion polls. He continues, we remember how he gave Alan Tramartin false hope, which led to his exit from the NPP. So if the NDC won't learn any lessons from the previous ones, it's their own cup of tea. We in the NPP will forever remain resolute and poised for power in 2024. This is according to Obama watching us from Kwehu Tafu. Now, Kweko Furadai says Musa Dankwa is a true left shoes man. I think you should keep the criticism to the research he does, not to his person. We also have Hassan Salifu saying, Mr. Paul, tell him he shouldn't play us psychology. Our minds have matured. Well, Paul, do you?
Okay, so this is from Frances Siam, and good evening, Frances. Thank you for watching as usual. She says, good evening, Paul. Please, Musa is not a competent researcher. He claimed on the program with Bernard Avle that his sources are from social media. That's amazing. I didn't hear that. Musa Dankwa, did you say that social media is your source? I don't know. As a political researcher, also taught by the late Stephen Yaodo, Professor Chouayi, etc., I have echoed your analysis on him severally. Thank you, Frances. I'm happy that you were taught by the same people. I'm very happy that somebody who was taught by Stephen Yaodo and Professor Chouayi is talking the same way because they taught us how to do political research. Musa Dankwa, were you there? Did you learn it there or where did you learn it? Okay, there's no triangulation of methodology or any verification of primary and secondary sources. Thank you. I like these words. We used to chew them to write the exams. Triangulation of methodology, verification of primary and secondary sources. Primary source, secondary source, tertiary source. Oh, I remember political science. I miss it. I love it. Those of you there, I envy you. Study hard. Okay. He is an off-the-head partisan pseudo-researcher. Paul, ask him to show us his questionnaire and methods. It's from Obatampa, Francis Siam. Thank you very much. Mr. Daniel Aboa is also writing to me, and he says that, could you believe that ever since DMB was elected as flag bearer, NDC is now attacking him personally and have stopped the argument of DMB being a Muslim and a Northerner, and have used the argument of DMB being a Muslim and a Northerner, but still Enfa. Okay, all right, let's take our next break, and when we come back from the break, a legal action is being mounted at the Supreme Court against His Excellency the President, not the person of the President, but the nominal figure of President, that it should not be allowed for a President having appointed an IGP to take him out until the IGP is 60 or until he's retiring. And it should be unlawful for one President to appoint an IGP and another President take him out. We don't have a break. Oh, taking a break already? All right, yeah. Because of time, they say there's no break. I was feeling lazy. Okay, then let me just get straight to the story. It's on the touch screen. I believe that is ready. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is a photograph that we're showing me. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, right there in the center of the police chiefs. I believe this was in Parliament at the session. Oh, this is Yako Donko. I think she's COP Lydia Donko. Back in the day, she used to be in Volta Hall at Legon. Congratulations, COP Lydia Donko. And so this is the rate is between Imani Center for Policy Education. I think we should do this story on Thursday, producer, because I really need to deal with it at 10:55. I'm not sure. So let's. Do we have another? Is there another story? Let's take a break. Let's put Fifi Kwete and attach. I'm back. come to the studio, let's talk, and then when we are ready, we'll take that video off because we don't want viewers to be bored. But viewers, I apologize for this. This is a very detailed story. It's a legal story. You know how I love legal stories. I will deal with it on Thursday. Now, I can summarize it though. So a writ of summons is gone out. An action has been taken by Professor Kusienin, Imani Center for Policy Education, and they have sued the Attorney General. They are asking the Supreme Court to make a declaration that on a true and proper interpretation of the 1992 Constitution, presidents should not be able to remove Ekufu Dampare or any other Inspector General of Police for that matter, or the Chief of Defense Staff, etc., etc. That's the matter that we'll deal with on Thursday. We have to be very scholarly and intellectual, constitutional about this matter. We can do it. We're ready for it, but the time is short. I'm not going to get into the flow to just run it around, and it's not a story we can do in Chi. Maybe we can do the Musa Dankwa story in Chi to close when we come back. So please put Fifi Kwete on. Come to the studio. Let's have a conversation among ourselves. Viewers, you won't hear that conversation, but you know that me, I cannot keep secrets. I always concern to you what we're talking about when we come back. So let put the Fifi Kwete there. Come to the studio. Let's have a conversation on what our last story should be for the next 10 minutes. Thank you, viewers, for your indulgence. This program is yours, and it is you who have made it great over the last many, many years, 2 decades and counting. All right, we'll be right back.
No. I must be very, I just want to be clear in my mind as to whether the nominee has been sued.
Very well. Fifi, I am very much concerned about your capacity to tell the truth. I'm very much concerned about it. You come across as somebody who is very strong on issues, very strong, sometimes very insulting. And if you look at the editorial of your newspaper, which is just dated 9th March 2009, that's today's issue, I was a bit scandalized that some serious verbal assault was launched on the former President J. Kufuor and also Osafo Maafo. Mr. Chairman, with your indulgence, let me refresh his memory on what has been captured. Very interesting. Osafo Maafo is yesterday's man. Mr. Yao Osafo Maafo was once a Minister of Finance and Economic Planning under the senseless, wasteful former MPP government led by J.A. Kufuor, alias 50%. Alias 50%. And then when the editorial goes on to say that it also takes us into the mind of the minority in parliament and the mischievous spirit operating within them. And it goes on to say that concerning Osafo Maafo, it is either dementia is setting in because of old age, or Osafo Maafo is woefully criticizing the budget to score cheap political points for his party, and so on and so forth. Fifi, I think that, seriously speaking, this does not mark you out as a very civil person who should be given such a high office of Deputy Minister of Finance, because you didn't insult another man to make a point. How are you going to fit into this role if this is your frame of mind and disposition? That's my first question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. The honourable member clearly.
Sorry, I should be looking here. Sorry. Let's take a text message and then we'll wrap up at 11 o'clock for tonight's edition of the show. So let me start with Antoinette. What do you have?
Abdul Hafiz says, I actually realized Musa Dankwa was fake when he said that the only safe seat for the NPP in Accra is Okwaikwe Central. He said the rest will struggle to win their seat. Can you actually imagine? Petro Yabwa says all these so-called surveys are just encouraging us to work harder as a party. Surely we can break the eight.
Right, so this one is from William. He says, Paul, please don't waste precious time on Musa Dankwa. He's a joke of a poster. Let's ignore him and his Tofiakwa reports.
Mahama has taken a lead in the 2024 elections. DMB will win the 2024 elections and will be sworn in as the next president on 7th January 2024. And lastly, coming from Charles says Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's best partner choice should be Napo. What do you have for us, Angie?
Because Nana Kwame Bediako's name was mentioned, it seems one of our viewers decided to send us this story on him. He says 2 pet tigers found in a gated community belonging to Freedom Jacob Caesar, also known as Nana Kwame Bediako. They are yet to be relocated from the residential area a year after a court gave an order. This was after one of the neighbors sued for the removal of the animals. He says they were reported to have been brought in as cubs and now they're fully grown. Also, Adebayo from Tamale sends this comment. He says, please, is there any discussion on the sentencing of the former Maslock boss? This is very important as it exposes the corruption in the government of John Mahama. This is what Adebayo is saying. Anyway, Paul, back to you.
No, I think there's a legal process that has just finished. Perhaps she will file an appeal. We have no position to comment on it until she decides, her lawyers decide that they are not filing an appeal. But I believe that the lawyers will file an appeal. So let's wait for the process. I think that's about it for Good Evening Ghana tonight. Today we're told to try and close at 11 o'clock. So we are obeying our bosses. Hopefully on Thursday we can go beyond that. That's Good Evening Ghana for tonight. Thanks for watching. It's always a pleasure to come your way. Good night.